So finally, after months and months and months and months, up to a year, we finally got the first episode of NXT United Kingdom, or NXT UK. It was always talked about during the tournament for the United Kingdom Championship. When I had heard about the UK title, I thought, oh, so this is going to be like the European title for NXT. It's going to be their secondary championship to accommodate for all the talent they've been getting lately. And I thought that was alright. Like, really, just calling it, like, some people might say, it's called the United Kingdom Championship. It can't be called that if it has someone else who's not from the UK. Well, you would have a point there, except the European Championship was held by people who were not from Europe. The most best example is Kurt Angle, DDP, and Christian from Canada. So, yeah. There's no foundation there. So, yeah. But then I had heard that they were going to launch a show, and as time went on, I grew mixed about it. Not because it wouldn't be a bad show. It's AAA spearheading the project. I'm expecting greatness to eventually happen. But the problem was the timing of it all. You see, really think about this from a more competition-based perspective. You have the Universal title, the WWE title, the United States title, the Intercontinental title, the Raw Tag Team titles, the SmackDown Tag Team titles, the Raw Women's title, the SmackDown Women's title, the NXT Championship, now the North American Championship, the Tag Team Championships, and now you basically are saying, and rumor has been going around that they're going to announce a women's-based tag team title belts for Evolution with Stephanie at the helm, because Stephanie, of course, is the creator of the women's wrestling industry, so we gotta thank her for that, right? And then you have to add in the NXT, the UK title, and then you have to add what they're announcing is going to have the UK tag team titles and the UK women's title. How many titles is that now? Like, let's see. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, possibly 13. Yeah, there's nearly, like, I think nearly 20 different title belts in WWE alone. At least the independent the independent wrestling scenes could go and say that, well, they share their talent, so yeah, it would not be surprising to see one guy hold a bunch of belts at once, like Austin Aries did a lot when he was in the belt collector gimmick and whatnot. It's not surprising that you would see the Ring of Honor title with the IWGP title. So yeah, it made sense, because while they are in that company, they also work somewhere else. But WWE has nearly 20 title belts. It's becoming less and less of a competition and more like a participation award. Like, I would not be surprised if I kept saying as a joke that WWE might as well do a Crisis of Infinite Championship storyline. And yeah, I still see people say, we need to bring back the hardcore belt. And I'm like, no! As cool as that belt is, I don't want more title belts. I need a break from that. Like, we have so many title belts running around in WWE that they might as well have just done a Crisis of Infinite Championship storyline, because just like DC when they did Crisis on Infinite Earths, there were so many Earths in the DC multiverse, just as there are now so many title belts. So, yeah. And I had seen the designs of the NXT title belts that make UK title belts. And okay, the women's title belt, okay, that looked pretty awesome. It's pretty much standard for the women's titles of Raw and SmackDown, but it has a very, very detailed very detailed plates. So I was glad they did that. But then I saw the NXT tag team belts, the NXT UK tag team belts, and I was thinking, oh my god, those are so gorgeous. So gorgeous. So gorgeous. That I wish that they put this kind of effort into the main roster shows belts instead of just making ginormous pennies or quarters. or dimes. But yeah, so when I had heard that they were commissioning these projects and NXT UK was going to have Johnny Saint, I believe his name was, let's see, also Joseph Vick and Nigel McGuinness are being the announced team and whatnot. And also heading into this, Tyler Bate looked like he was going to be the one that leads the charge, but no, it's going to be Pete Dunne since he's been champion for over 500 days. And he's beaten Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, John Cena's title reign. So, yeah, that should say something. Like, he is now the longest reigning champion of the modern era of WWE. So, yeah, Vince, I know you might be mad that your statistics is now forever wrong in like every single way possible because you had a lazy part-timer going ahead and do things. But yeah, you got someone who's been wrestling all over the country, all over the world in different promotions defending your branded title, and he's done it better than your part-timing lazy, I'm going to stay at home and bathe in my millions and millions of dollars for very little effort. So yeah, and then Noam Dar comes back for the NXT UK title picture, wins a number one contendership match, and gets to challenge Pete Dunne. So that's going to be awesome. Yeah, Noam Dar had returned from injury during the UK Championship at the Royal Albert Hall back in June. And oh my god, I had completely forgot about his mere existence. Like, he's never brought... I don't watch 205 Live. I didn't watch 205 Live when all this was happening. So, I didn't know about Noam Dar getting an injury. I just forgot about him. And honestly, I thought he was released. Like, I wouldn't have been surprised because, well, it's... Vince doesn't care. So, yeah. This is going to be the first match of the NXT UK show. After we got some very nice montage clips of past UK pay-per-view events and UK shows, especially SummerSlam 1992, which was said to be the last pay-per-view in the WWE to be hosted in the UK, but they're kind of right at the same time wrong. You see, they hosted SummerSlam there. There was also NXT TakeOver, but, you know, Vince won't mention that at all. Retcon history is very great for the course, right? So, yeah. Then we get the very first match of the NXT UK event, the UK division, and we got Joe Coffey with Mike Coffey facing Mark Andrews. So, this match was like 7.5 minutes. Nearly 7 minutes and 40 seconds. So yeah, I've been like wanting to know who these people are. Like, the only people I know are Noam Dar to a minor extent, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven. Let's see who else. Toni Storm. I heard a lot about her, so I had to get interested in to see how she's going to be in this wrestling division. And sure enough, yeah, I was glad that they went ahead and actually put, and like, so, and I'm even reading from a site where they go into the details about these guys, where it talks about who these people are, just in case you don't know. The Coffey brothers, I think I pronounced that wrong, but still, forgive me for my lack of knowledge, have been regulars for ICW, who, of course, has a working relationship with WWE. Mark Andrews, is also a veteran of 11 years and has competed all over the world for like Progress, Impact, and Attack Pro, Pete Dunne's UK promotion. Yeah. So, yeah, this match was basically Goliath, David versus Goliath, because this Joe was a very big dude. Well, he would be surpassed later on, but like, anyways. But because Mark Andrews' speed style was able to help him in a huge advantage on this, it really made things work here. So I was like really interested in seeing how this goes, and I wanted to see how the commentary works and whatnot. And then Nigel McGuinness even mentions that Joe was actually Kurt Angle's opponent for the latter's last singles match for ICW back in 2016. Yep. They go ahead and reference another promotion. Granted, it has a working relationship with them, but Vince has a history of not wanting to mention other promotions, even if they're working with him. on a business thing. So yeah, ultimately Joe Coffey, with his help, go ahead and basically take him down, and then we get a brutal lariat after Joe overhead belly to belly from after to an overhead belly to belly suplex from the middle rope, and a brutal lariat for the pin, and then like they start the Kofi brothers went to attack Andrews, but Flash Morgan Webster came out with his helmet in hand for the save. Way to go there. Don't know who this guy is. So I'm going to have to do some research after all this is said and done. I mainly wanted to talk about from a perspective of me watching as a first timer. Then we see Mustache Mountain, Trent Seven, and Tyler Bate entering the arena with their gear bags, followed by more commercials that we got because, a subscription-based service clearly supposed to have commercials, right? Yeah, there's even, it's WWE Shop commercials, but there have been some commercials for things that don't even relate to WWE. And then we get a video package featuring Eddie Daniels, who's explaining his backstory, basically being longtime friends with Andrews and Dunn, and how when they all started out, it wasn't about wrestling in front of thousands, but who had the best stories to tell. He closed the video by saying he had some good stories. Very well. And then Mustache Mountain came out, great ovation, and there are a lot of people chanting for them because they're very popular. And they're going to basically explain how they mention how Triple H is the guy in charge of everything here, and they also talk about the NXT UK titles, especially acknowledging their backstory regarding their loss of the tag team titles in NXT, the main brand, which leads to continuity connections because, please remember, this was taped months in advance from what I last heard. This was taped. Meaning, this is all in direct continuity with each other, even though it's been months ago. And yet they're treating it like it was just like a couple of weeks ago, even though it technically was by 2 months. So, yeah, they mentioned the NXT UK tag team titles, and like I said, the title belts are very beautiful looking. And they keep mentioning Tyler Bate being the youngest ever champion ever in WWE. He was 19. I must stress, he was 19. I feel so old. I feel so old. And I was, 22 or so when he won the NXT UK title? Oh, man, I'm surprised. Hard-working guy. Well, actually, you could have said kid, but still. Anyways, so Trent Seven is joke saying he maybe could become the oldest by Tyler Bate, and basically they want to see people to get a tag team division ready so they can prepare for the tag team title division for the NXT UK tag team title belt tournament, I believe. And then we see Pete Dunne going ahead preparing for his match along with Dar as well. And then we get a video package with Dave Mastiff. I'm not even going to try. Who called himself the best heavyweight wrestler in the world today. He said he was ready to show the world what he was made of. And yeah. And then before that match with Dave, we get Vic and Nigel McGuinness talking about the return of Noam Dar, and we see Noam Dar warm up for his match backstage as well. So here's the stuff about regarding who Sid is, and not who Sid is, his Dave's opponent. And yeah, he's been around since 2013, and he was trained by the NXT Performance Center coach Robbie Brookside and Johnny Kidd. He wrestled for IWP UK and Progress and a bunch of smaller UK indie promotions. While Dave here is actually a veteran of the scene, debuting in 2002, and has been wrestling for Progress, IPW UK, Rev Pro, ICW, WXW, and Preston City Wrestling, among many other promotions in Europe. And he was part of the new World of Sports promotion for their New Year's Eve show last year, so that should say something. And yeah, here's the thing. Fans were chanting, "My step's gonna kill you. My step's gonna kill you." And here's the thing. They actually kind of let this obvious victim of everything, at least get nearly 2 minutes to try and survive, which is better than 30 seconds. So, yeah. Dave actually wins wins after cannonballing him and crushing his entire body and now making him look like he was now a stomped insect. But I digress. Yeah, and then we get no mentioning of the NXT women's title would be defended there regarding the Evolution event. And yeah, they also talk about the theme music. So we get the debuting of Nina Samuels was being interviewed before her match, and she wants to win the NXT women's title and is the first to be the sorry, and wants to do so at the expense of Toni Storm. And yeah, Toni Storm, when I heard of her and I saw what she looked like and what she could do in the ring, I was like, well, she's going to be the first NXT UK woman, right? In fact, I partially thought she was going to win the tournament of the Mae Young Classic. Yeah, I don't know about that. I haven't watched it. I've kind of been busy with a lot of stuff to watch a pre-tape show. In fact, I had a hard time trying to keep track watching NXT UK because I could just pause it and it's not live stream broadcast, so I could just move on to do something else. So yeah, it was hard to do that. I had to rewind at times. So yeah, Toni Storm, yeah, she defeats Nina Samuels in 4 minutes and 10 seconds, I believe. Nina Samuels, we get into some backstory regarding. We got some information about her. She wears pink and black, which was told to be a tribute to Bret the Hitman Hart, and she had made her wrestling debut in 2014 and has been wrestling for Pro Wrestling Eve, Progress, Rev Pro, and Preston City Wrestling, among various others. Toni Storm made her debut at the age of 13 for IPWA in Australia before moving in with her grandmother in the UK to improve her wrestling. Yeah. She also spent a few months with her former boyfriend Tyler Bate to train for WXW Academy in Germany in 2016. So yeah, they dated for a little bit and then broke up apparently. But I don't care about their personal lives because I'm not crazy. Unless they want to talk about it, then they can. But really, it's not my right to go ahead and keep asking questions about their personal lives because they want to be left alone at times. So anyways, she also went to getting into stardom in Japan when she honed her skills even more and even held the SWA and the World of Stardom title. She also collected women's world titles in Progress, WXW, and yeah, she also is a huge fan of Montley Q. Yeah. So yeah, she eventually wins the match. I like this site where I'm reading it. I believe is Wrestling Observer. Yeah, it's a Wrestling Observer. But I was trying to look up for more backstory details, so I'm just going in it for people who probably don't know about these people and don't really go on Wrestling Observer newsletter site or F4W online. Eventually, Toni Storm does get the victory over Nina Samuels and in 4 minutes and 10 seconds. And I was thinking, okay, I kind of want to see her fight Becky Lynch. Just for the hell of it. And then we finally get our main event. Johnny Saint, the NXT UK General Manager that was announced during the UK tournament this year. And here's the thing. He's 77, I believe. Johnny Saint is 77. Ooh boy. And he even mentions how he has never been mugged, and then he says, no, but I am very much looking forward to the day somebody tries. Yeah, am I already saying that he's more sane than Vince? So, yeah, we know who Pete Dunne is by now. We already know who Noam Dar is, so I'm not going to go over the details on them. But this match between them, this was pretty awesome. Like, it was the longest match of the show, which is not surprising because they're only given an hour, so they had to work around some stuff. But, like, the effort put in this match, like, I'm not saying it's match of the year quality, it was match of the night for a variety of reasons that make the most sense. But, yeah, Pete Dunne is awesome. He just continues his, I'm going to impersonate Marty Scurll and hopefully try to trigger a finger-breaking match. Which would be freaking awesome if they did that. Pete Dunne, Marty Scurll, and maybe even Randy Orton in a finger-breaking match. That would actually kind of sound awesome, yet disgusting at the same time. But, yeah. Pete Dunne and Noam Dar. I knew Pete Dunne was going to win because this was taped in months beforehand, so we already knew Pete Dunne had won. It was still a pretty nice match. Noam Dar got the loss, and they eventually did this whole ending where they go ahead and Pete Dunne offers his hand, but when Dar went to grab it, he pulled away and gave Dar his own pinky finger salute, which Dar did back, and the show went off the air. And Nigel McGuinness, I believe, said that they were showing a different kind of respect. And I was thinking, yeah, I'm not well versed in the UK stuff, so I don't know how that works. I could be wrong. But at least they're not doing the typical handshake. They're instead doing it their own way. So, yeah. Pete Dunne's just awesome. Noam Dar, this was, in my opinion, his best match, and he's not being a creepy pervert regarding Alicia Fox, where he speaks in his voice where, the beautiful Alicia Fox. I just, every time when he spoke and said Alicia Fox's name, I was like, this could be kind of sounding a little stalkerish. Not making fun of your voice, but still, it just comes off as weird for me. It's just weird to me. I'm not trying to be offensive here. It just came off as weird for me, but whatever. So yeah, this was a pretty fun episode. This was a great way to debut the show. It probably could have been better if it was given a much more amount of time. Not saying it needed to be 2 hours or 3 hours. That's just stupid. 1 hour is probably good. Like NXT, the main brand, has been able to do so much in 1 hour, more than Raw can do in 3 hours. That should not be said, but it's happened. And yeah, like I said, this is just getting off the ground and whatnot, so I'm not surprised that it was just an okay, pretty good, fun premiere episode. But we'll see how things go as time goes on. I'm not going to do a review for every single episode because I just really don't think I have the time to do that. But I just wanted to give my thoughts on the premiere and the overall build-up that led up to this, and my thoughts on the NXT UK show, because I never did talk about when they made that announcement back in June. So, yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing I was saying once on Instagram and Twitter, like, what if they go so far as to establish NXT Mexico, NXT Japan? Like, imagine it. Imagine if they did this. The NXT UK champion versus the NXT Mexican champion versus the NXT Japanese champion versus the NXT North American champion. That would be hilariously awesome. And I would pay to see it. I would pay to see that match. Yeah, but there are some things I've been questioning about. So, like, are these guys going to come to the NXT TakeOver events? Oh, and by the way, speaking of the upcoming TakeOver War Games, called it. I knew it was going to be the War Games match. Pete Dunne, Ricochet, the War Raiders versus the Undisputed Era now reunited after Bobby Fish's injury, so now he's back. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting ride regarding NXT UK. I'm hoping that more can come out and we can see more quality matches, but we're going to have to see how this thing goes off the ground, and hopefully it will be very great. Well, I have the utmost confidence because it's Triple H. He hasn't done anything that can deter my reasoning so far yet in the last several years. Yeah, there were some bumpy roads, I'll admit, and especially his Reign of Terror days, but he seems to be changing his stance on building a future instead of destroying it, like a lot of people assumed he was going to do. But then that was changed, and now everyone sees him as the savior of wrestling, especially since Vince lost it. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on NXT UK premiere episode. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe,